Right. Are we on live now? Yes. Okay. All right. Hello. A very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to this publication ceremony of Nobody's Children. I am Mohammad Ghulam Nabi Mojumdar, but shortly it's Mojumdar from the Ideas. I'm a research fellow here, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this publication ceremony of Nobody's Children. First, let me just give you a brief idea how we are planning to continue this program. We have here the fabulous 5 participants. Let me read out the names first. Of course, Valerie Taylor, founder and coordinator, Center for the Rehabilitation of the Paralysed, or CRP. Then we have Sister Shikha Gomes, principal, Holy Cross College. Then shortly, we'll see Barrister Sara Hossain will be joining us, lawyer, Supreme Court of Bangladesh. And of course, Maruf Mohiuddin, managing director, the University Press Limited. And of course, we have with us the author, Rubaiya Murshed. And we'll be talking about her first book. What a great occasion, right? To publish a book of your own, and if that's the first time in your life, then I can imagine. By the way, I look forward to that event for my life. So I'm so excited that I'm part of this event. Yeah. She is a lecturer at the University of Dhaka in the Department of Economics. And of course, she's currently a PhD student at the University of Cambridge, UK. Just a few points about Rubaiya Murshed. She volunteered and tutored at the Cambridge Refugee Settlement Campaign. She also ran a school. It's called Bortola School. That's the children that are featured in this book. They are the students at that school. She is also a co-founder of Blue Roses Foundation for Underprivileged Kids here in Dhaka. And of course, she regularly contributes to the newspapers like the Daily Star, the Dhaka Tribune. So Rubaiya is writing a lot, and we are all so glad to have her here. And we'll be listening to her and to the guests, of course. Now, can I now just invite briefly the author, Rubaiya Murshed, to say a few words about the book, and then we'll continue. We'll invite our distinguished guests. So Rubaiya, up to you.
Thank you, Dr. Mojumdar. This is a very special moment for me. Forgive me if I am a bit overwhelmed. I predicted that I might be too overwhelmed to gather my thoughts and convey them to you. There are a few things I would like to say to all of you about the book, and predicting that I might be too overwhelmed to say it in an organized way. Just before this started, I wrote my thoughts down. So I think it would be best if I just read out my thoughts. These are my own words from the bottom of my heart for this book launch to all of you. This is a special moment, a special memory, not just because this is my first book, but mainly because of the characters of the stories in the book and for the human beings that they are based on. These stories are, to an extent, based on true stories. The children on whom I have based these characters were a huge influence on my life. You see, I've come from a background, a very privileged background that is very different from the children of the stories of these books. I've grown up privileged. I've had anything a child could materially need or ask for. I lived my childhood to the fullest. These children didn't. But the funny thing is, although we've lived on different ends of the spectrum, somehow we met, we connected, and we bonded. It all started from a field under a Bortola gach, a banyan tree, almost 10 years ago, near Aporjoy Bangla at Dhaka University. And I have a very specific memory of this. It was Friendship Day, actually. I was in my second year of university. My friends, some of who I know are watching today, had all left to spend Friendship Day with their boyfriends, and I was waiting alone for the car to come and pick me up to go home, to my home in Calabagan. It is then when I first met Saddam, one of the children, and holding his hand, I went to that field where I ultimately met more of these homeless children in a school that had been started for these children by a senior brother. We call this school Bortola School. In this unorthodox informal school, along with Firuz Bhai Arnab, Zainabapu, Take my love if you guys are watching. In this school, I got to bond with these children from the other side of the grass. The grass wasn't greener on this other side this time. But what happened was that in time, and I cannot explain to you how spontaneously and magically this happened, these people became my second family. This second family of mine gave me a purpose in life, and they have been the center of one of the most incredible experiences of my life. The fact that I ended up being the voice of these children by writing the stories of this book was written in fate. It just happened. And I'm forever grateful that it did. Ending up on that field that afternoon was the beginning of me stepping out of the protected, privileged world I knew. And it has made me the person that I am today. I know in my heart that however many books I will write in the future, whatever I do, my memories with these children and then the act of writing this book will forever remain one of the most defining moments of my life. I wrote these stories so that the world would know these children, so that the world would celebrate these children. Sorry. Their stories are not just tales of struggle and poverty, but of incredible kindness, bravery, friendship, and love. For every bit of love I gave these children, for every bit of love I gave these children, they love me back 1,000 times more. And so let's celebrate this book, not for me as an author, but for the children, the unsung heroes in these stories. It will remain the utmost honor of my life that I got to be their voice, and I hope I have been able to do justice to that responsibility. If you read this book and if you feel something, even if it is a little bit, and if you are motivated to join me and many others in trying to make a real difference for these children who give up their childhoods, then all this has been worth it. I wrote the book in English so that these stories could spread all around the world. When we grew up, and also the children growing up today, we all grew up reading so many fairy tales about kings and wizards and mansions and dragons. I think it's time we give our youngsters stories like these to read as well. They need to know of these children too. I needed to. I wrote this book also as a reminder to myself, a reminder of these memories that shaped me, and a reminder to myself that I have a duty to dedicate part of my life's work to making a difference for homeless, underprivileged children like the ones in this book. And I hope this book will be the beginning. I hope that it will lead to discussions, debates, dialogues of what we can do as a society and as a country. You know, as powerful as these stories are, stories alone will not change what is reality. I know that. All I hope is that these stories will light the fire, and it is then up to us to keep the fire burning with action. On that note, I'd like to end with quoting some lines from a poem written by a dear uncle, Shahriar Ripon, our Ripon Chacha. He passed away a couple of years ago in the middle of the pandemic. I know he would have joined my family members and loved ones today in cheering me on. Somehow, this poem he wrote is befitting of today. And before I recite in Bangla for our English speaking viewers, let me translate loosely to give you the gist of it. The poem speaks of the fact that however much we might wish that picking up a pen and paper would change the world and would rid it of poverty, it does not. It is the first step, which we must follow up with action. On my part, this action involves, just so you know, after this book, the first step I'm taking is that I've pledged to donate my writer's royalty from the book sales, every penny of it, to work that is being done to make sustainable and good changes in the lives of underprivileged children and their families. So here's the poem. Ripon Chacha, this is for you. কলম আর কাগজ হাতে তুলে নিলেই যদি দেশের অনাহারী মানুষগুলোর পেট ভরে যেত, যদি খরা জমিতে ফসল ফলত, দুঃখ দারিদ্র মুছে যেত, তবে পৃথিবীতে অভাব ঘুচে যেত। কিন্তু এমন হয় না, দুঃখিত আমি সেই জন্য। Thank you. I hope you'll buy this book. I hope you'll read it. I hope you'll like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rubaiya. Just one sentence, I can't sort of stop myself from sharing, prevent myself from sharing. Rubaiya Murshed, she is an empathetic person, so far I know, and her stories reflect that. And I'm confident the readers, potential readers of this book will particularly find it valuable. So with that note, I think this is time for me to invite our distinguished guests. Now, I would like to invite First, Valerie Taylor, founder and coordinator, CRP. Valerie, could you please make your remarks? We are waiting for you.
Thank you very much. I, a bit like Rubaiya, was noting down a few things, knowing that unfortunately I have a very, very bad memory at this stage in my life. And so I thought if I write a few points down that I could perhaps share. I was just reflecting on what I found was so interesting in the way Rubaiya had presented the subject, these 10 stories, and how interesting it was, but what a beautiful way the link with the well-known films and book characters. And I'm just thinking of Dopey, one of Snow White's Seven Dwarfs, and of Pocahontas, because in my family, Pocahontas played a very important part in conversation and reading to my adopted daughter who has dyslexia and can't have the pleasure of reading herself, but she loves somebody to read to her. And I've also been reading to her the stories of Nobody's Children. I just think Rubaiya has the amazing ability to bring the reader closer to the realities of homelessness, because for many it'll be a very new experience seen through her eyes and the children that she'd met and worked with. And then we can understand perhaps for the first time just how tough life can be, particularly for children negotiating on their own how to live their lives. I thought the reflections of the school children who came from privileged homes, who had everything needed for a comfortable life, were very, very interesting indeed, because of course, it was a challenge to these children. How would they manage if they didn't have that comfortable home to live in? And I suppose after just these general thoughts about Rubaiya's beautiful book, I just wondered whether these 10 case studies can be the basis of a movement for real change in the opportunities afforded to those who are homeless. And if rather than just reading it and then forgetting what we've read, what action would need to be taken? I remember thinking that Rubaiya had made these so-called nobody's children into everybody's children if we can prove that we care enough to make those changes. And I think then it could become a book with life-changing consequences. And I think this should feel really exciting for all of us, and hopefully not too daunting, because working together, we're all stronger. And if we care enough about other children who are now today leading the same sort of lives as these 10 heroines of Rubaiya's book, do we care enough to make changes? So I feel this book does several different things, but it challenges all of us to ask ourselves, how far can we enter this great need for change? I'm sorry, those are rather scattered thoughts, but I will now pass on to you again, Dr. Mazumdar. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I listened to it, to your words with my full heart. You know, one thing just occurred to me. I recall Gandhiji's famous sort of term. He used to say, "Horijon, the people of God." who are usually neglected and sort of marginalized. And along the same line, when we say nobody's children, we basically point out to everyone, not you, not you, not you. That means you're engaging everyone. In a way, it's reminding all of us, each of us, that those children are ours too. They don't deserve to live the way they have been, but we are all culpable, responsible. We all have to do something. Rubaiya's book is, is a call for action in that way. Now, can I now invite Sister Shikha Gomes, Principal Holy Cross College. Please, over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and honorable guests, Ms. Valerie Taylor, and Advocate Sara Hossain, and Dr. Mujumdar, Mahrukh Muhyuddin, and the author of the book, Rubaiya Murshed, and all the participants who are watching, attending, and enjoying this auspicious occasion of the book launching, Nobody's Children, author Rubaiya Murshed. It's such a blessed moment that we are able to get together for this celebration. Thank the Almighty Creator for this opportunity. Heartfelt congratulations to Rubaiya, the author of the book, Nobody's Children. Thank you very much for inviting me for the celebration and giving me the opportunity to speak on the book. Today, I feel so proud for Rubaiya, who is my student, and somehow her thoughts, integration, and sensitivity to the street children and underprivileged groups, poor and marginalized, make me feel that she is my teacher. Rubaiya, I can tell that you are becoming my teacher to communicate these thoughts and your creative writing. Thank you very much, and definitely I'm proud of you. And I also extend my congratulations to the UPL that I think you have done a wonderful job publishing this book. No doubt the book is a beautiful one. The quality of printing, graphics work, ornamentation of the book, placing the quotation in an artistic way, binding, everything is very, very attractive. Thank you. When I received the book, I smelled it. For the moment, I looked at the cover page. The color combination of it is black and white, and the title of the book is written with golden ink. Definitely, it is the contrast. The golden writing shows the new era and hope for the future. The lively smile of the little boy says so clearly that the world is mine and I have right to live a happy and secure life. No matter what, I belong to this beautiful universe. I am the child of the universe. I am one of you. I deserve your love and care. No one can ignore me. This gesture shows the self-confidence. Rubaiya, I would say in somewhere, somehow, you gave this confidence to them. What was expressed the first page, on the cover page of the book. The book consists of 10 stories of the children who are homeless, voiceless, powerless, underprivileged, and definitely marginalized. You try to highlight the issue and to involve yourself to give them dignity in a unique way. Your book is drawing our attention that we have to focus our minds and hearts to this kind of children. Your writings is shaking our conscience. We have to think and to rethink seriously where do we stand regarding the safety and security of these children. What is the meaning of justice? Who are the victims of the society? What is our responsibility? How we can address this issue? Honestly speaking, how much I read your book, I'm enlightened in a different way. I think your book is a challenge challenging one, and we, responsible people of the society, must think of it. You worked hard, dedicated yourself to bring forth life in a skeleton. You are encouraging and inviting us to be more human and offer our life for the wellness of entire humanity, paying attention to the powerless people of our society. We are called to transform our society, as you have mentioned, that the system is a unjust system. We need systematic change, not the system change. Otherwise, we'll be running in the same bush again and again. How many days the children will be remaining being nobody's children? When are we going to be? They will be going to our children. Rubaiya, thank you again for giving me the opportunity to be more reflective through your writing and articulation of kind and sensitive gesture of yours. Someone mentioned you are very, very empathetic. If you wouldn't be, you wouldn't could immerse yourself with this kind of stories and the realities of human life. Completely immersed into the situation, you embraced their life and became one of them and made the stories, the living stories, the real stories. I do believe and hope that being together we will be able to open a new horizon regarding the issue. I liked it quite well that you have inserted an emphasis on the local cultures, ordinary food share, daily situation, and life of the university campus, songs of our mystics. Those really shows your love for the culture and how much you feel, and many words in Bangla that you have used in your book. I feel good about it. I can feel that your heart is in your Bortola school. Your sentiment and emotion are deeply immersed in it. You've done a great job involving the children of Sunnydale English Medium School to imagine and express their feelings and understanding through images and short sayings. I think it will help them to realize the discrimination and classification of our society. It needs to come to a meeting point. We claim our equality and equity. Rubaiya, it is your first publication. We are waiting for more of your writings will be published. Take the challenging stand. As Miss Taylor says, maybe not by blood, but by love, we will be a world family. Our compassionate hearts will bind us together. We must listen to the cry of the and somehow you are encouraging and inviting us through your stories, through your writing. I admire it. I think you are successfully done it. May our Almighty Creator bless all of us and our good efforts. Rubaiya, blessings for you. Thank you.
Um, Thank you so much. Hearing your compassionate words, I am reminded of my own teachers that I had when I was a student of, you know, I was born and brought up in Chandpur, Haziganj. And I was, of course, a student at a primary school. And you reminded me of that, one of my favorite teachers back in those days. And I wish I could listen to her. She would have said something like you, compassionate words, encouraging words. Thank you so much for those words. Now, I see um, Barrister Sara Hossain. Um, can you hear us, Barrister Sara Hossain?
I can hear you, and I think I can also see you.
Okay, I'm glad you can see and hear us, and we're glad to have you here. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now, Since you are here, we all know you. We love your words and wisdom. So would you love to share some of your wisdom with us? Are you still with us, Barrister Sara Hossain? This is, whenever we do things online, this is one of the possibilities. We can wait for a few seconds, perhaps she'll be back. Oh. Hello, Barrister Sara Hossain, can you hear us?
I think she
can...
got disconnected. Maybe she will be joining back.
Right. So we can perhaps. She's probably giving us.
We have these issues with hybrid events as well. So
yeah, this is pretty much expected. We all perhaps are familiar with these things.
I think
this is a good opportunity to reflect on the previous speakers as well.
Yeah.
We can probably...
maybe Dr. Mojumdar, you can read some of the comments from the chat box, because a lot of people have given their wishes. So while Sara Hossain joins, maybe we can read out some of the comments from the from the Professor Mustafizur Rahman and Dr. Rizwanul Islam. They have given their messages. So yeah.
I see Jeff Wood say, I have joined. Jeff Wood, we will need to have or leave after 1 hour. So 1 hour is I think good enough time. In the meantime, while you are here, you can share some of your thoughts online, like the way you did. Send us some comments. And I see, let me see, Rizwan. I think thanks, Maharuk. Rizwan, that's the first time only I can see. Thanks, Maharuk, for noting, but the raised hand was a mistake. Okay, I've lowered it. That's fine. Actually, okay, see if I see any more messages. Dr. Rushidan Islam. Congratulations, Rubaiya. I'm so happy that you have made this effort. I hope that the book will lead to concrete plans of action. One of my proposals is that don't put these children into a prison-like school, but create something like an open Obhoyaron, so that they may learn and also contribute to society's learning. I concur. I second. I also agree.
I heard that.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to speak from the audience on Zoom, would that be possible? We can invite anybody if they want to share their thoughts.
I think the technical team members perhaps could help us in this regard. Can Marukappa tell us whether we can take some questions from the audience? We can't hear you.
Yeah, if somebody, I'm sure, yes. If somebody wants to join as panelist, they can
raise their
comment on the box, or raise their hands. We can bring them on the panel. Definitely, I'd be happy to do that.
So I know Wahiduddin Mahmood sir is here. He drew the cover back, the drawing on the back of the cover of the book.
Right.
So if Sar would like to share some of his thoughts, I know he's here. I thank him from the bottom of my heart for his drawing. It's on the back cover of the book.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, we can see that. If Professor Wahiduddin Mahmood sir can hear us.
No, he's here. Yeah, I see him.
Yeah. Sir, if you want to share a few words with us, we'd be really happy. We'd be thankful. If you want to add something here, you could write us a message, perhaps, or even talk to us.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. You can see I'm not visible, but okay, let me see.
We can see your picture
Okay.
and we hear your words. Yes. There you go. We can see you too.
Okay. এখানে যারা আছে তারা তো সবাই বোধহয় বাংলাতেই জানে, বাংলাতেই বলি। আমি তো
Sir, Valerie is here. Sir, Valerie is here. Valerie is here. She's, I think.
Valerie knows a lot of Bengali. You underestimate her. আমি আসলে তো I am very happy to join. আমি তো কিছু বলতে আসিনি। Masuda is very dear to me. She is my second generation student in the sense that she was not my student directly, but her mother was one of my very bright students, and Masuda Yasmin, maybe she's with us now. She is a professor of economics at Dhaka University at the moment, senior professor. So that's why Masuda is in the second generation. And this book, I think, shows one of the serious problems, reflects the serious problem of us social security system. আমাদের যে সামাজিক নিরাপত্তা ব্যবস্থা সুরক্ষা বলি আমরা, এটার যে একটা বড় ফাঁক আছে। We want a welfare, we aspire for a welfare country, কল্যাণমুখী দেশ। সেখানে এই যে পথ শিশুরা, এটা আমাদের ব্যর্থতার একটা বড় বড় reflection. Among as economists, and Rubaiya also as an economist, we measure poverty by all these statistical difficult measures which people don't really understand, but we continue to utter that poverty has been reduced from that person to that person. But one single picture or some stories like this can be much more, I mean, people can be much more receptive to the problems. এই যে সংবেদনশীলতা বলবো আমি মানুষের, এটা if you remember in the Vietnam War there was one picture of a naked small child escaping, running away from the napalm bombing, and the সেই বোমার ধোঁয়া দেখা যাচ্ছিল, এবং that changed the entire public opinion in the US about Vietnam War, and that heralded the end of World War, the Vietnam War. Like that, I think Rubaiya's stories are so touching. It's much more effective than the statistical estimates we make about poverty reducing to this much and that much. And every one of these stories are different, are unique. They shows the different varieties of problems of the ছিন্নমূল পথ শিশু। এদের যে একটা কারণ না, বহু কারণে এরা কেন ছিন্নমূল হলো, এরা কেন পথ শিশু হলো। এবং I don't think Valerie was telling about we should do something, program. Money is not the problem. Allocating funds is not the problem, I think, because it won't require much fund given the amount of fund is spent for poverty alleviation and social security measures. It's a management, it's understanding their problems, because these children are damaged in many ways, and you have to have a hand holding to lift them up. And that's requires imagination, which I as an economist will be a total failure, but Valerie, as someone has done so much for Bangladesh, can think about something as she hinted about. Thank you so much. আমি এসেছিলাম শুধু কংগ্রাচুলেশন জানাচ্ছি রুবাইয়াকে, রুবাইয়ার আম্মা ইয়েকে, মাসুদাকে, and I think Rubaiya's dad is also here, who is although a very highly trained physician, but he's also very, very dedicated social worker and working for the many causes for the poor in Bangladesh. So congratulations to not only to Rubaiya, but also to the entire family, a family which is completely dedicated to the cause of the people of Bangladesh. Dhanyabad সবাইকে. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, can we now invite Barrister Sara Hossain, if she can hear us?
Yeah, thanks so much. Maybe I'll just jump in quickly because I have a horrible
Please.
connection. So I will start by congratulating Rubaiya, of course, for getting the writing done and also for writing in the way she has done in terms of trying to bring to life the experiences and lived realities of these young people and these children. I think, as I just heard Professor Wahidullah Mahmood say, it really is important to tell these stories and to remove the kind of anonymity, to remove the kind of glazed vision many people have as they walk past and see children on the street, and focus very sharply and try and understand exactly how they're living their lives and what their dreams and aspirations are. I think the book is also important for us in kind of, we often we often feel, I think, particularly those of us who work in the human rights field, that there are just too many things in front of us, too many challenges to cope with, and that it can bring in a sense of, I think, perhaps despair at worst and disconnection, maybe slightly better version, or detachment. So I think what the book will help to do is to kind of break that and make people feel that they can attach and they can connect, and that they have not only a need to respond, but perhaps a way to respond. And I think, I hope the book will help to open up some of these conversations and the possibility of having conversations about what kind of change is needed, and also how to make that change. Again, I think the approach of having Rubaiya reflecting on the comments from her students and also compelling her students, I think, recatalyzing and compelling them to engage with the issue of how children, other people their age with very different contexts and opportunities to their lives, how they can make those connections themselves. And also I think that what Rubaiya talks about and what she kind of shows through the quotes from the kids who are her students is that she's also kind of catalyzing that sense of responsibility, of being agents, of being able to do something. And I think changing the perspective, changing her perspective or changing our perspectives from being those of, silent onlookers to being people who have to be, once you know, you can no longer be silent. So people who can be actively involved in thinking about these stories and reflecting on them, to then go on to thinking about what action they can take. And I'm so pleased to have heard Valerie Taylor at the beginning, I think, speaking about how this book can help to make those connections be realized and help us all, I think, collectively to think about how we can work together. So again, many, many thanks to Rubaiya for making this happen. And I hope that the launching of this book is the start of conversations and start of also further work on the area. Thank you so much, Rubaiya. And also thank you for first making the connection. I want to thank your father particularly for making the connection with you, and of course for his incredible work also working with young people and children and people in situations of extreme vulnerability, and forcing that vision and thinking upon so many of us. Thank you again.
Thank you, Barrister Sara Hossain, for your wise words. I see a lot of comments, which is really good. A lot of people are listening to us. A lot of people are giving their feedback, some of the questions, remarks. At this stage, I would probably ask Maruk Appa to just advise what I should. I see a lot of comments. So should I go for some of the comments and then probably invite you to reflect?
Yes, please. I think I was going to request that. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So let me just pick one. I see Hossain Jilur Rahman. He made a comment here. Let me read that out. Dear Rubaiya. By the way, first, can I ask, can Dr. Hossain Jilur Rahman hear us? If he can hear us, it would be fantastic if he would just talk to us for a second or so.
Also, Dr. Mojumdar, I think Nazin Appa has her hand raised.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How come I missed that?
I think that's our Nazin Appa from BIDS.
Okay. All right. I think Dilruba is not online, so I can read just his comments. Dear Rubaiya, what a heartening and creative initiative, stepping out of the comfort zone of usual academic work. Congratulations. Wish you many more creative journeys ahead. And yes, let's all work together to make the world a happier place for the nobody's children. I concur, of course. I see Nazinapa right now. Nazinapa, can you hear us? There you are. There you are. We're so
Yes,
happy to have
I can. Yeah. I'm so happy that I could join because I had another meeting which was postponed for direct meeting. I have to attend that through Zoom, but I'm really so excited to really congratulate Rubaiya directly. So can I just speak few words for the launching?
Absolutely.
Rubaiya, it's been, I'm so glad to see this book because I have to say that I was kind of part of Rubaiya's really, enthusiasm to work for the children. I witnessed how she desperately wanted to have one organization who can really, that can really help these children, because I knew about these children several years back when Rubaiya wanted to do something for them, help them, and really tried to enact an organization. But you know how difficult it is in Bangladesh to gather resources and do those things. I still remember attending one such seminar where we also made some promise, but actually those never came to realization. But when I see this book, I can see that Rubaiya has kept that light inside her to help the children in whatever way she can. And when I heard Valerie today, I really felt something inside that what can I do for a change? Because 1 year back, so I have taken leave from BIDS, and now I'm working with the development partner. I'm working with UNDP. Though UNDP does not work, I mean, like directly for children, that is mostly UNICEF, but we do a lot of work where we can work for the environment where these children, these nobody's children grow up. So I have started thinking that even the ongoing programs that UNDP has, how can I look to some of the projects or programs that can work for children. It made me think. I think, Rubaiya, that's the beauty of this book. It will make us think for sure, and I'm sure that we will do whatever in our capacity we can do. And actually, Rubaiya, I have ordered this book today online. I'm really, really can't wait to read it. And congratulations again. And I really congratulate your parents because I know your mother personally, and I congratulate them. And also, I just came to know that you are my Holy Cross alumni. So we are both from the Holy Cross College, and that also makes me feel proud of you. The college and university, same department. So Rubaiya, wish you all the best, and all the best for the book. I'm really proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nazinapa, for those nice words, encouraging words that you always deliver. We are always happy to have you. Now I see lots of comments. So Rubaiya, that's a very good. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Before you go into the comments, I do have a personal request to somebody here. I see somebody. I feel like this is Ashik sir, our Ashik sir. So we're from the Department of Economics. Ashik sir is one of our favorite teachers there. Sir, if this is you, it would mean the world to me and so many of our students I know if you would say a few words, please. I've seen your comment. If this is you, I promise I'll give an autograph only if you speak. Thank you.
So if Ashik sir, if you can hear us, there is a request for you to say a few words.
You can go ahead with the comments and let's see if Sara keeps my request.
All right. Okay. So lots of comments, lots of interesting, encouraging comments. I wish I could read every single of them. That would be fantastic. But the online world is excellent. It's going to be there forever. Everyone can read it whenever you want it. So that's a beauty. So I probably
it
take
looks like Ashik sir is here.
How? Sir, Ashik sir, can you hear us? I see your name. I think if that's the right person that we are hoping to listen from.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Okay. All right. So lots of comments over here. One message I see so I have to apologize. I can't probably read all of the comments. I wish I could read every single comment. But here, one thing just in front of my eyes. There you are. Ashik sir, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. But can you?
Yes,
we can hear you. We are all eagerly waiting for you to talk a little bit at least about the book.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Rubaiya, আমার কি বাংলায় বলতে হবে নাকি ইংরেজিতে?
আপনার যে ভাষায় ইচ্ছা স্যার।
Feel free.
Actually, I'm quite jealous of you. এই ধরনের কোনো কিছু I should have done it, but you know, at my age, it reminds me of a famous poem that T.S. Eliot wrote. It's called Gerontium. It says, I have lost my passion. Why should I need to keep it, since what is kept must be adulterated? I have lost my sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. How should I use them for your closer contact? So that is how I feel at this stage. But you are so young. You are full of passion, purpose, and imagination. I hope you keep them up. And definitely, I would love to read those books. And you promise you will autograph it, you know? So keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We all hope that Rubaiya will continue to produce wonderful books in the future. Many more. Marugaba, can I read at least one more comment here? So again, this is kind of random here. I see a long comments. Usually my eyes go directly, there is a long volume. So it doesn't mean that I'm doing injustice to the people who write a few words. No, those are probably more precious, but I will just read from here. I believe this is Professor Mustafizur Rahman, Distinguished Fellow CPD, said, congratulations, Rubaiya. I share your compassion and passion for our children who need our concrete support and actions to help realize their potentials. Keep up the good work and continue to inspire us. May your book be read by many. Very warmly, Mustafizur Rahman, Distinguished Fellow CPD. Thank you for those nice words. I wish these things happen to all of us so that we could hear some these kind of words at least a few times in our life. Marugaba, I'll probably get back to you now to decide which way we should go forward.
Thank you, Dr. Majumdar. And I am actually still looking at the comments, and this is really heartening to see that so many of our really distinguished people have joined, and economists. I was looking at Dr. Rizwanul Islam's comment, and also Professor Jeff Wood's comment, and who said that stories are really so powerful, which Dr. Waiduddin Mahmood also said. So I think, I want to first start by saying that this is also not a typical book that UPL publishes. And when Rubaiya first came to us and, proposed this project to us, I had a long conversation with her, and, we've taken her through a fairly painful process. I'm sure Rubaiya will, curse us. She has been cursing us all the way through, but hopefully today a day of celebration, and you probably understand. It was difficult also to there was a discontinuation of the process during COVID, but of course we had our commitments in place that we wanted to bring this book out. Like you all said, to give voice to those who require it the most. And congratulations to Rubaiya for doing this with all her commitment. And I think that's what inspired all of us, that she was fully committed, she was very determined, and she knew what she wanted to write. She knew who she wanted to write for. She knew who would be the readers, and it needed some convincing at our end, because we first want to know who the readers of the book will be. And given the increasing disparity of income, and these children have almost become invisible to us, to people who live in this city. We are almost desensitized. So this is a very necessary reminder that these children are out there, and we're actually with every passing day we are delaying our actions. And Rubaiya has done her part in sharing these stories, in writing these powerful narrations, and which will hopefully inspire other children, other students, researchers, and hopefully policymakers to really look back at these realities, because the magnitude of the problem is way beyond any individual's capacity to solve. So this really requires a concerted effort, and our heartiest congratulations to Rubaiya for doing her part in this. So I just wanted to come in towards the end and thank all of you for your support. Ms. Valerie Taylor, Sister Shikha Gomes, Barrister Sara, Hossain, Professor Waiduddin Mahmood, Dr. Ashik, Dr. Muzumdar, and everybody who joined on Zoom, Nazneen Appa, and Professor Jeff Wood, Professor Mustafizur Rahman, Professor Rizwanul Islam, who also left a comment later on, congratulating Rubaiya, and we will collect all the comments and also put it in a place where everybody else can see the comments and know that their support is there as well for this book. And thank you, Rubaiya, for doing this very unorthodox work, because I think pushing boundaries is what we require the most. And we were happy to be part of this process, and we wish you well, and continue your work, and we will know that we will always be there to support you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I can probably take a few moments just to wrap it up. I can't sort of stop myself from reading at least one sentence from Rubaiya's beautiful book. She wrote at some point, one more laugh in the world is sometimes quite enough. Just one more laugh. So I believe this book will bring many more laughs, many more, inspire thousands of children's scholars, young and old, to write, to reflect, and more importantly, to act. This is my last remark. I tried to read some of the stories. They're all fantastic. They're empathic, full of empathetic words, just full of it. And probably one last thing I need to at least sort of share is that, yes, we need kind-hearted people. We need empathetic people, words, but we also need actions to change the structural sources of those inequities and miseries. So yes, individuals' attempts, initiatives are precious, important, but probably only those individual efforts, piecemeal basis actions, are probably not enough. We need concerted efforts to change the structural sources of those inequities and discriminations. I hope this book will be a good sort of reminder to all of us that we have to do more. We can do more, and we have to do it. Thank you all very much for joining. Should I just say that, yeah, Maharukapa, do you want to say something?
I think there was a question, Dr. Muzumdar. Somebody, Farzana Yasmin Manan, she wrote that to Rubaiya, are you keeping in touch with these children? What about their parents or guardians? Have they been rehabilitated in the meantime? So Rubaiya, if you want to take the question.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, Maharukapa. Thank you, Dr. Mujumdar. Thank you, Choto Khala, for the question. I wish I was back home so that we could have these conversations face to face. Long story short, Choto Khala, read the book. These questions are somewhat answered in the book. Yes, me and my friends from the Bottle School, we are keeping in touch with these children. I can't right now since I'm in the UK, but yes, they are in our lives. The story, when you read the stories, you'll realize that not all of them have parents or guardians. Each of their life, each of their stories are very different, unique from each other. Rehabilitation is such a big word, Kala. It's very difficult for us through that school with money from our own student pockets. No, it wasn't possible to rehabilitate them. To me, rehabilitation is, it has to be sustainable. It has to be to an extent that these people can stand on their own 2 feet. It's not just like giving them one meal or giving them money. That's not sustainable. So to me, no, I haven't done enough yet. I've learned that these things like NGO schools and giving them meals and money where there's some sustainability, money based on charity, these things are short term, and these children need long term changes. So they've changed my life in that I'm studying these things now, and I have a plan to dedicate my academic work to this as well, looking into models of where we can make sustainable changes. This book is completely non-academic. It's the inspiration, like I said. I hope it will light the fire. It will be the beginning to the work and actions, hopefully me and many others will be inspired to pursue from this. I hope that answers your question, Kala. Give me a call if it doesn't. Thank you.
Okay. Marukapa, I would again come back to you to suggest how we should go forward from here.
I think there are 2 other comments. Maybe if we can read them, I think we've covered most of the comments. I think that would be nice to have it on record here as well. So should I do it, Dr. Muzumdar?
Please go ahead, because there's so many comments. I'm not sure which 2 you are.
Yes, I think, because Dr. Rizwanul Islam had left a comment, and he had left, and I think he wanted his comment to be read out. He's written, congratulations, Rubaiya, great job. I wish the book Why Circulation. I firmly believe that during the daytime, all children should be at school and not at places of work. Outside the school hours, they should be at home or in playgrounds, not on streets or railway station platforms. I hope more action will be taken towards attaining these objectives. So that's from Dr. Rizwanul Islam, and you've already read out Professor Mustafizur Rahman and Dr. Hossain Zillur Rahman's comments. And I think I want to read out Dr. Jeff Wood's comment as well. I look forward to being one of your Bideshi global readers. I have always believed that stories should be told to bring to life the drier analyses and from social scientists like me. It is so important to understand and appreciate the perspectives of people experiencing exclusion and poverty. Many congratulations to Rubaiya for developing these relationships over time to bring to us these insights, Jeff Wood. And I think Dr. Manzoor Ahmed also wrote, congratulations, Rubaiya. I look forward to reading the book. Hope to see it in ebook and also Bangla version. That's something for Rubaiya to think about. Ms. Muhammad Shah Ali, Rubaiya, as far as I know, this is the beginning. You have already shaken the mind of participants of this historical event of your family. They have started to think about nobody's children now, and I hope after a few days you will see nobody's children will be everybody's children. Let's all let all our dreams come true. Love and proud of you, Rubaiya. So I think most of the long comments, and of course, many of you have congratulated her and commended this effort. Thank you so much for this participation. This is great encouragement.
So with that, can we just say we are taking a pause for now? We look forward to hearing from, and of course, reading many more books and stories from Rubaiya and others. And so it's my part to just say we have to perhaps stop here right now, and we look forward to these kind of events, these kind of discussions more in the future. I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for joining here. Thank you. So bye for now from me. Bye bye, Rubaiya and everyone.
Bye.
Yes.
Thank you.